The community wasn't a big fan of this June month side quest, which is a weird thing to say because we're not even 2 weeks into the side quest launch. For me personally, I actually enjoyed it, but I only enjoyed it because it was bugged at the start of the month and you were able to get it done and out of the way very early on. This meant for a lot of times and processes for myself as well as many other players, you got to get something that maybe you weren't a massive fan of out of the way first, get all the rewards, and then move on to something else in game that maybe you wanted to prioritize, like battlegrounds or arena grinding. For other players though, they felt very differently about all of this. And I guess this is the thing, isn't it? What you're looking to achieve from this particular month of June's event. So, as Valorok says here, it's important for us to address this issue. Kabam, we wonder what discussions have been taking place during your game planning sessions. It feels like someone may have overlooked certain aspects. The side quest doesn't meet the expectations of both new and seasoned players. In the previous month's side quest, players at the uncollected and below levels could obtain over 8,000 6-star shards if they perform well, beating the threat levels way above their level. However, this month's reward offer no more than 2,500 shards. And yeah, if you've seen my video, you can definitely see that's the case. This is the side quest, kind of like a spend scenarios video that I did, where I did an uncollected and cav section, definitely showcasing that even if you invested into higher areas, there does come a point, depending on where you are, Cavalier, Thronebreaker, and uncollected, that how far you go may not even result in a decent enough take home. And this is a narrative that Kabam is spinning and have spun for a little time, is that most of the side quests over the course of the year, it is very much a case of you need to up to different titleage in order to progress further. And that sometimes isn't great, but that's how Kabam is spinning it at the moment. And I'm definitely siding with Kernius on this one, saying as a Paragon, I'm kinda okay with a 6-star generic Awakening Gem, 20k 6-star shards, minimum of 2k 7-star shards. Sure, it could be more, but I'm happy with this and I find it okay. Not underwhelming in my opinion, but that doesn't mean I'm making yours invalid, just comparing these two. And by the way, if you want to know how to function as, interacting on the internet, interacting on forums, this is how you do it. Just a nice kind of way of going hey, I see your point. Doesn't maybe align with where I am personally, but at the same time, I see where maybe you're coming from, and it doesn't make your argument invalid anyway. So I really appreciate this way of kind of interacting. Please, more people be like Kernius. But yeah, the point still remains, it doesn't align with everybody's thought process on this, and that doesn't mean that this is a great event by any stroke of the imagination, thought process and stuff like that, because there's obviously different sentiment within the community on matters, and it's always interesting to do a community tab. Check out the community tab and the shorts tab, because I'm posting there regularly. I'm doing fun quizzes, by the way. Once a week I'm doing a very kind of cool which champion came first quiz, which is really cool. I hope you got involved with it. We had about 3,000 people interact with it, so thanks very much for that. But in any case, that's not about that. There's about this, which is all about side quests for June. And I wanted to put to there, how out of 5 would you rate this particular side quest? So obviously 5 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 2 out of 5, 1 out of 5. Get involved, by the way, if you want to check it out. Sometimes Kabam drop in and take information from these particular kind of votes, so get involved. I don't know why they don't do it personally. I think they just do it for the Summoner Sanctum, but yeah, get involved. And the interesting thing about this is that out of the 973 votes at the point of recording this video, predominantly we've got 39% of you voting a 1 out of 5. And again, this is not aligning with maybe you may differ this, say, I really like this, a 5 out of 5, well fine. But most people that interacted with it have gone with a 1 out of 5. So it'll be interesting to find out as to, why are people voting in this particular way? Jason's opinion does align to mine, which is I love that I was able to complete it when I wanted to, plus one path, nice and simple, straightforward. And for me, it was kind of to go further. I just like the fact I could do this at day one, and I did this on a Saturday, blast for about 4 hours. Actually, when it was a midweek day, 4 hours worth, and it was done, and I was happy with that. But there's other thought process. So Brain says this side quest is probably one of the worst so far. Fights feel a bit too reliant on certain champions. This is a major step down from the last side quest, which is already a downgrade of the pretty neat April event. And that's something we'll do in another kind of community tab post. We'll try and find out some of your best ones. If April went well for people and people really enjoyed it, then that's the sentiment of the community on this matter. Events have really been hit or miss this year so far. I do agree with that one. This is a point here by Marvel Master saying, I like the rewards, just hated the repetitivity, I honestly trying to say that several times. The repetitive, oh my god, I can't. It repeated. It didn't write the repetition of it. Oh my god, what's wrong with me? I'm scuffed. I ended up getting the same champions for the majority of the grind and just didn't enjoy it personally. And again, that's a good point because you have to repeat it several times, and it's kind of a lottery of who you go up against as to setting your team against. And we did do videos as to like some of the best teams to set up for it, but it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to mean that things are fun, interactive, interesting, or you know, you have the best options. It did actually take me several attempts in deep to kind of go, this was the best team, this worked out well, or this was passable, or I was able to cheese it. Chuck said he liked doing it all in one day due to the bug. 2 awakening gems are nice, but the store was pathetic for the difficulty. So again, that's something that's, you know, bugging people as well. And again, this is an issue right here because, you know, David says, felt awfully grindy. I ignored the nodes most of the time and just used Hercules. And that's a problem, isn't it? If Kabam are looking to create content, why do they put a lot of stuff that kind of is like, well, the part and parcel of Hercules? And that's the problem, isn't it? Like, you could do so many different things that would bypass the need and want and desire to use the likes of Hercules. But a lot of the time, you know, Kabam, well, what can you really say? It'd be nice if you could use specific champions and those specific champions get buffs. Like if you used Iron Man or a Spider-Man and they gain buffs within the side quest, then it'd be more favorable for you to be using those particular champions. This is why we've got things like size matters as a node for interaction. And I'm sure people will say that's very specific or, you know, quite issues, but at least you weren't going to be using a champion like Hercules on a repetitive basis, and we wouldn't be using the same copy-paste kind of teams each time. Paul says, a bit pants as a Thronebreaker, not being able to get top rewards anymore behind the Paragon wall, can complete the difficulty but can't reap the rewards for it. The quest itself is a bad combination of defenders and nodes, some easier than others though. So I guess that's the thing, isn't it? The amount of effort that Thronebreaker players had to put into what they get back is going to be somewhat of an issue, because obviously Paragon gating some of the rewards is going to feel like it's not really kind of like, you know, that great. And Dashi kind of like just reiterates a lot of this kind of like, I like the rewards for myself as Paragon, so a bit of a positive, but it's kind of like down the middle. Maybe the quest wasn't to his liking. Connor says very easy content, just fighting Vision 80 odd times was long. 8 Vision? Was Vision in there? I don't think he was. No, he wasn't in there. Maybe he's referring to fighting with Vision. Possibly. Definitely from a lot of the sentiment that I'm reading, it is very much either down the middle or it's lower down towards that 1 out of 5. And these are the telltale signs of side quests kind of losing their way to appeal to everybody in the community, whether it's hitting rewards or like at least getting that kind of like event content, nodes and other stuff really kind of hammered in. The final thoughts on this one, which I obviously kind of did some final thoughts on this one. Now, my final thoughts on the side quest, obviously take into consideration, I'll leave the forum thread and link in the description if you want to go and get involved with it. The community tab is up as well to kind of get involved with it as well. Is that we know it's like it's different strokes for different folks of what they enjoy and don't enjoy when it comes to the quest. Of course, with this, it is very grindy up to a certain point. And, you know, when you want to get those that currency to spend on something good, it is going to be very different for, say, myself at Paragon and other players that are lower titleage. And this is just the thing, isn't it? Like, how Kabam get this sorted? I do feel that side quests from an entertaining, interesting element aren't as good as they used to be, or maybe it's a case that my particular preference is to see these side quests evolve and have something new or different. As I said in the past, I did come up with some ideas, 2 of which were pitched at Kabam. One was kind of given, not a thumbs up, but kind of given a pass of a like, you know, okay, you know, it's interesting enough and could work. And, you know, you kind of like at the moment go, oh, I hope that maybe something could come of this. But nothing came of this. So I don't know what is coming in the future, but I would like to see something new or different, or Kabam use different elements to kind of spice it up. They have tried in the past, and unfortunately they have failed with it. just remember the last time, I think it was like with a code type event, which was that April? Was it May? No, it wasn't May. But there was a time where we had that code. And obviously a lot of these events blend into one another. But I would like to see something different. Stuff with new challenges. Stuff that maybe involves like community. Maybe something that involves stuff out of the game. Maybe something that involves something new in the game. Something that involves something regularly in the game that would require you to access something. One of the things that I did pitch to Kabam was a crystal type extravaganza that involved, I think it was Deadpool or another character. And the idea for the event was that you would go through a quest, you would gain crystals, and opening specific types of crystals throughout the month would unlock things. And do bear in mind, I pitched that last year where it kind of felt like that would kind of immerse itself in the not overly strenuous meta of the game. But, you know, could see something like that. Maybe not. Maybe will. Probably not. But yeah, that's really the thing. We're probably going to do like a little kind of video on pitching an idea that would be different for Marvel Contest of Champions. But thoughts in the comment section about this month's June side quest. Yes, we're only 2 weeks in. But how do you feel about it? Was it something that you enjoyed, didn't enjoy? Is it the case that you don't really like the structure, the grindiness to it? How do you feel it could change? Put it in the comment section down below. Make sure as well to check out some other content which is located on screen right now. And I'll see you later on for the Kabam livestream announcement, which, you know, might have some fun stuff. Maybe not. We'll have to see. Thanks, everybody. See you soon. Bye-bye.